Franklin,
Here.
Larry Gausted,
Here.
John Glasspool, Chase Munson,
Here.
Rich Shield,
Here.
Eric Johnson,
Here.
and Josh Grant.
Everybody read the minutes? Or discussion on the minutes? Corrections or additions? Not a motion to accept them as printed unless you have some discussion on them.
I'll make a motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. Okay, I guess whenever you're ready.
So please take notice that an application has been made by Michael and Susan Bashaw of 1785 Bush Valley Road in La Crescent for a conditional use permit to build a dwelling in the Agricultural Protection District in La Crescent Township. And that's on the east half of the southwest quarter in section 24, Township 104, Range 5. Said applicant standing and making application RSV owner of said described lands. A hearing on this application will be held at the Houston County Commissioners Room in Caledonia at 5:20 p.m. on Thursday, February 26th. All persons having an interest in the matter may attend the hearing or submit comments relative to the granting or denying of said application, and comments should be mailed to the Environmental Services Department or emailed to the zoning office and must be received by Tuesday, February 17th of 2026 to be included for review prior to the hearing. All comments are considered public record, and that was advertised on February 11th of 2026.
Are the applicants here? Would you come forward, please? So I'll turn it over to you and you can tell us what your plans are.
Okay, our plans are to build a 2,080 square foot house with a 3-car attached garage on our family farm. My parents bought the farm in 1964, so we're gonna split with my sister. There's a total of 54 acres there right now. We're gonna split it with my sister and her husband, and my sister will be restoring the house and eliminating the farm buildings that are in disrepair right at the moment, which I think will improve the property for one thing. But, I don't know.
So one question that I've had calls on is that how, they're building on 18 acres and I was told that was an open quarter. Can you explain or show us how that works, Amelia?
Yep. Maybe?
It's not
wrong
actually
one.
18 acres. It should be 27 acres.
Okay.
We've had it surveyed and split. The road easement is in here and stuff.
Oh,
too now.
perfect. Okay. I will put that in the record. So yeah. Their house is proposed right in here. The pink line is the quarter line.
Okay,
And, the house I believe is in question is this one to the north, and I'll zoom in here. So the line does run sort of across an accessory building there. I have no idea. And I should preface this with Beacon, it should not be used for legal purposes. We have looked at this location though, and based on where the corners are, if there was any kind of variability, it's not necessarily vertical, it'd be more horizontal.
So have you verified that with the surveyor?
Yep,
Okay.
so,
so what you're telling us is that other house on that partial is in a different quarter.
yes.
Okay.
And computer is not. Well, it's not letting me drag it right now, but where my cursor is there on the top
Yeah,
is, I believe, kind of what the question was about, and that is an accessory building. The house is just above that line. And so that one dwelling per quarter rule is based on where the actual dwelling is, not just any structure. So it is still an open quarter.
okay, well, that's what I wanted to see. So, unless folks have any questions on that. Any questions for them, from the board here?
So are you gonna share a driveway, use the
Yep.
original farm
Yep.
driveway?
Actually, I and my wife own all of it right now.
Yep.
And we're gonna sell half of it to my sister and her
Right.
husband. We've had the road easement surveyed, the land has been surveyed and split, so it shouldn't be a problem to share a driveway at all. And we've actually had the soil conservation people out there, had the DNR out there, we had Amelia out there to look at everything, where the road is gonna be.
Okay,
Yeah, there were wetland concerns, so that's been evaluated. That was strictly just for a portion of the driveway.
Now, someplace in the packet I read here where you're gonna have to have a ingress egress, but that doesn't have anything to do with this board. That's something they have to do on their, when they record their abstract.
Yep, I would look at that before I issue a building permit,
Yeah,
which
okay.
it looks like they have that ready to go.
Yeah, and I believe the way it's worded in there is that we own that property right now, so we don't need permission from my sister and her husband
Okay,
to get that through. So it'll just stay that way as far as the easement.
well, I saw it in the packet and I wanted to bring it up because that's something that this board doesn't act on is all.
so what were to happen if your sister, a few years down the road, wants to sell the place? You have a shared driveway. You can
I
have.
don't believe that that would be a problem because it is a legal easement.
So you're gonna have a legal easement for them to, okay,
Yep.
all right.
Any other questions from the board?
Well, and just to clarify too, that the spot where you're gonna put the house is right at the edge of that one field, right? Kind of,
Yep,
and that's marginal farmland?
yep,
Yeah, that house will be 170 feet south of the property line.
Yep.
yeah, it's right in there.
Right in there,
Yep.
yep.
Or-
So is that farm now or just idle?
There's 20 acres that are tillable and my dad rents it to
Okay.
a guy that he puts corn in there most of the time and we'll continue to rent it too. But the area that we're building is really, it's just a horse pasture.
Oh, okay, okay. That's on marginal land, that's a little different than prime ag land. Any other questions? Did we have any, public comments from the public here on anything? Yeah, would you folks step down, please, and then,
I'd like to just.
or you got some more to say?
Say one
you
more
go ahead.
thing. I read, there's a complaint in here from Bruce and Kathy Von Groven saying that this will lessen the value of their property. I disagree with that because our house is completely around the corner from where their house is. It doesn't change their view at all. It doesn't change their hunting at all. I'm not building the house out in the middle of the woods where it would deter deer or whatever to come near it. So, we took that into consideration too. We're building our house, so we're not wasting a bunch of extra land and things like that. And we plan too, one day to pass this down to one of our kids. We have 4 daughters and we hope that one of them will take it when we're gone, so. And like I said, it is a family farm, so that was our intention.
Anything else?
So I guess that's
You
all
got-
I have for
you
now.
got- If you got more, to say, you go ahead.
We're fine.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that your paper over there?
I don't think so.
Public comment? State your name if you would, please, after you get seated down.
After I sit down.
Yeah, or you can do it while you're standing, it doesn't make.
All right, thank you. My name is Bruce Von Groven. My wife and I put together a concerning letter based on what's happening here. This is actually my first rodeo, so I'm not very clear on quarter sections. I did go out and look for some input from people that I trusted. And the maps, if you can bring it back up on Beacon, there's really three things here that we have in question. When we initially got the packet, it didn't show where the house was gonna be. So that was our first concern. And so I went back and asked for definition, and they were kind enough a week later to send us an approximate location of where the house is gonna be. And I don't know that it's gonna matter, but the quarter section that I have off of Beacon, and I think in all fairness, that maybe needs to be blown up so you can actually see that. There's already, I guess that's our garage, which is 3 feet away from the house. And we assumed that was part of the structure, right? Your garage goes with your house. So that's what raised the first element of concern is there's already a fixture there. Is it measured by feet, yards, weight? How is that done? But we were under the impression that being that was there, that it would never be able to be built on. So that was the first concern that we had with it. The second one was we were under the impression that you aren't supposed to, by design of the county and then the state, that you aren't supposed to build on cropland. I didn't know how many different levels there were of cropland, but we originally bought our property from Mr. Bashaw, from Mike, when he moved into town. And over the years, the 25, going on 26 years that we've been there, we've seen a number of crops put in this field. Everything from hay to corn, possibly beans. You'd have to go back to the records. I don't know if it ever was actually recorded or not, but it looks to me like cropland. Okay, so that was the second concern we had. The third one is where's this house gonna go? Well, we did get a brief drawing of where the house was gonna go on that property. It's in the cropland. And it's, if you can go to Beacon and maybe go to the east there, where the lime green line is there, going diagonally from middle of the page to the southeast, we'll call it. We have a field road right above that line. And right about there is where Mike's house is gonna go. Tentatively, I maybe stand to be corrected there, but how many feet is it gonna be off the lot line? I don't know that. But we do utilize that road. We go back there on four-wheeler. We've had a truck back there. We hunt that whole area. So the third concern we have, if that house pops up and it's not, what is it in Houston County? I've read it a couple times. 300 to 500 feet, you can't discharge a weapon next to a building. So if this house is gonna hug that line, it does kind of impact our ability to utilize that property for what we bought it for. And we turkey hunt, we deer hunt, we bow hunt. And I can guarantee you, if you were to walk that Doug Road back into the valley, it's a pristine valley. That's exactly why we bought that property. You can't really see any of it from any road. around us, even from the ridge. But now to stab a big old house in there, if I was to look at that property after that house was put in, to me, it wouldn't have the value that it does right now. So I can guarantee you on a stack of dollars that it will impact the value of that property once that house is stabbed in there.
I don't agree with you because talk to any of your realtors, if you got woodland there, these guys that are looking for these monster Christmas trees, they'll pay whatever. But, you better close on it because we kind of keep it to 3 minutes in the
Okay,
If you
yeah, I'm
got something
sorry.
else quick to say, why you go ahead.
Yep, no, and I appreciate the opportunity for us to come, for me to come and speak. Again, we're just trying to keep the valley as pristine, so to speak. There's been a number of houses that have popped up, and that's the future, I guess. We're just trying to keep what we were always hoping that, and assume that nobody could ever build on it. And now, obviously, those rules have changed.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and to the board, appreciate it.
Question for Amelia. This proposed house, is that house going to impact this Bluff Road that he's talking about? Ridge Road, Bluff Road, I call them Bluff Roads.
So they will have to be, the minimum setback is 50 feet off the property line, which gets them down into the more level ground, but I think they'll end up being further than that off that property line. So it shouldn't impact like slope stability at all.
Okay, I was
That's
just
what you're
curious.
questioning.
Any other comments? We got some written comments?
Yeah, so I think Michelle included this one as well ahead of time. We had one written comment that I can read quick. It says, "Good afternoon. I recognize I am past the deadline to be included for the hearing, but I'm writing in regards to the application by Michael and Susan Bashaw at 1785 Bush Valley Road in La Crescent, Minnesota. It would be our request if residents will be living on Bush Valley Road to put up some safety barricades around the corners of the very steep hills on Bush Valley Road. We would like some safety wire or guardrail to protect the drivers in our home and all residents on Bush Valley Road. I've been informed that this was requested in the past and was not granted, and I humbly request for you to consider again before someone loses their life on that sharp corner with additional road traffic. Since this was more of a township, or is a township request, since they're the road authority, we did forward it to them for review.
I was gonna say it's a township road, so that would have to go, if that was requested before, I assume it was at a township
Yeah, I would
meeting.
assume.
Yep.
Is this potential house within 2 miles of I'm just asking, of a plotted city?
No.
Okay. Well, I was reading the packet. I just had to ask. Any other public comments written?
Nope, that was the only one we received after your packets went out.
Do we actually know how long it's been since there were crops there?
No, I guess I did not verify any of that.
I think Mike
And-
stated that there's been crops growing there, right?
I think the
Yeah.
last time there were crops planted, there was about 6 years ago.
Okay,
And my dad decided at the time, he said that it was too hard to get to it, so they quit doing it. He had a temporary road put in for a combine to be able to get up there to harvest it. And he just said, the guy that rented it said that it wasn't worth it. Enough to make it worth putting
they could probably come back up.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You guys can come back up. That way he can hear you and see you on video.
One thing I'd like to say about that quarter section thing too is, if you look at that, he was talking about the house being on it, the residence isn't on it. There's 3 feet, like he said, between the house and the garage is what shows up on that, not the residence. And from what I understood, that's the way it's worded, that it has to be the residence itself that shows up on that, and that's on the other side of the line.
So Amelia, what class soil is that?
Um. Would be 5.
Okay. And that's why it's not considered prime farmland.
Yep. 1, 2, and 3 are prime.
Isn't there kind of a rule if it hasn't been planted in X number of years? That's not considered cropland anymore?
Correct. If somebody was going to come in with a similar request, but it was prime ground, but it was all timber, then it's exempt from that rule. So if it hasn't been in a row crop, then it's exempt. That's for prime ag ground,
For how many years?
10. Or some kind of program.
Yeah, we don't plan to put crops in there. I talked to Valerie at the Soil Conservation Office and suggested planting trees instead of crops, and that's something that we're planning on doing next year.
So this shed now that this gentleman said it's over the quarter line, that's his shed?
Yes.
But there's nothing in the zoning that,
That's his land on the other side too, the quarter.
oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, all right, okay.
Yeah, it's a
That-
It's
line.
on his land.
The line goes right between the house and the garage, pretty much.
Okay,
The quarter line.
Right.
But
Okay.
not the property line.
Correct.
okay, all right. Anything else from the board?
So figure 2 show, in the center of that picture, Amelia, there's that green rectangle.
Yep.
So looks like it's down in kind of a swale there. Where would the house be? Look at that direction.
The green line is my attempt at showing you what the elevation of that, or of that house would be. If you were looking there, that would be where the house
Okay.
sits. Yeah, the picture's taken from the opposite side, kind of standing by the barns, and then, yeah, there's a swale where, and that's what we had to kind of question with the driveway, and then you go up onto a little plateau, and then the hill rises from there.
Is there a power line that goes right by there?
There's a power line next to the property. It goes between, it'd be more north of where we're gonna build. And we've actually had power already installed on the property, so the power line comes over to where we're gonna
Yeah,
build.
looks like there's a pole there with a transformer.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I'm glad that's all that's been done. So.
Anything else? Any other questions?
The drawing you have up here, the house is actually south of that a little bit. It gets into the part where it gets a little bit green. So it's 170 feet from the line fence.
Or in here. Oops. And yeah, if it's any consolation, I guess I've been out there and standing where the house is, there is enough of a hill there where we couldn't see the neighboring property.
You know, I think it'll be tough for people to see it from the road even, actually.
Oh, yeah, I believe that.
You can see the light, power pole, plain as day. No problem.
Anything else from the board? If not, let's go to the findings. You can stay there, that's fine. There wasn't any more public comment. We could strike, somebody want to make a motion to strike 4, 12, and 14?
9, 12, and 14.
9, 12, and 14? Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'll make a motion.
Second,
I'll second.
favor, aye?
Aye.
Carried.
So number one, that the proposed use conforms to the county land use plan. Analysis states that the land use plan makes numerous references to preserving prime agricultural land, and the fact that non-farm dwellings are only allowed on marginal ground promotes this goal.
You folks want roll call vote?
I think we disagree on.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Go ahead, the two.
Two, that the applicant demonstrates a need for the proposed use. Analysis states that this proposal will allow the applicant to move back to the family farm while allowing another family member to continue occupying the existing structure.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Go ahead.
Number three, that the proposed use will not degrade the water quality of the county. Analysis states that prior to building permit issuance, a septic designer will need to identify 2 type 1 septic system locations and design a system meeting MPCA requirements, which will mitigate water quality concerns. An erosion control plan has been approved by the SWCD.
Before a question on that, before they can get a permit, if this is approved, they have to have design the septic, correct?
Correct. He'll have to actually design the system, and then they also have to identify that there are 2 type 1 locations. And so they decided to, in order to get this done quicker, they would take the risk on
Okay.
meeting that.
Yeah, this is just a conditional use permit to build on less than 40 acres.
Yep.
Less, yeah.
Right. If this gets approved, then they have to go and apply for a building permit and go through all the hoops for that, so.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Go ahead.
4, that the proposed use will not adversely increase the quantity of water runoff. Analysis states that the applicant will need to meet all requirements of their erosion control plan to address any runoff concerns before, during, and after construction, but the addition of a single-family dwelling should not adversely increase the quantity of water runoff.
All in favor of 4 signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Go ahead.
5, that soil conditions are adequate to accommodate the proposed use. Analysis states that the soil survey of Houston County identifies slope as the main limitation for building sites on 301E and 688E soils due to it requiring extensive land shaping, and both recommend that the building be designed to conform to the natural slope of the land.
All in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Go ahead.
6, that potential pollution hazards have been addressed and that standards have been met. Analysis states that adequate treatment of septage is likely the biggest potential pollution hazard, but a septic designer must design and install a system meeting minimum state standards.
All in favor of 6 say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Go ahead.
7, that adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, and other necessary facilities have been or are being provided. Analysis states that this is a new building site, so new utility installations are necessary and all costs are the responsibility of the applicant. Access will join the existing driveway and the new portion has been approved through the erosion control plan.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Go ahead.
8, that adequate measures have been or will be taken to provide sufficient off-street parking and loading space to serve the proposed use. Analysis states that there is sufficient off-street parking to accommodate typical residential use.
All in favor of 8 say aye.
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 Opposed? Go ahead.
9, that facilities are provided to eliminate, 9 was not applicable, so 10, that the conditional use will not be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity for purposes already permitted. Analysis states that the primary use of the surrounding acreage is agricultural or recreational in nature, and the addition of a single-family dwelling will not impact that use.
All in favor say aye.
Well,
Go ahead.
the question originally was that he wouldn't be able to discharge a gun, so he wouldn't be able to hunt. Is that correct?
I'm not sure what the setback is from a dwelling, but there is a setback from a dwelling, correct?
That's a DNR rule, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, do you know what that is, Larry?
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Go ahead.
11, that the establishment of the conditional use will not impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of surrounding vacant property for predominant uses in the area. Analysis states that this dwelling meets the density standard in the Ag Protection District and will not impact surrounding agricultural fields and recreational land. Orderly development meeting ordinance standards can still take place.
All in favor of 11, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 12 isn't available. 13,
13, that the density of any proposed residential development is not greater than the density of the surrounding neighborhood or not greater than the density indicated by the applicable zoning district. Analysis states that this request meets the required agricultural protection district density limitation.
all in favor of 13, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 14, we don't have.
14 is not applicable, so 15, that site-specific conditions and such other conditions are established as required for the protection of the public's health, safety, morals, and general welfare. Analysis states that a non-farm dwelling should not negatively affect the public's health, safety, morals, and general welfare if constructed according to the approved erosion control plan and septic design requirements.
All in favor of 15, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion to accept the findings.
I make a motion to accept the findings.
There a second? Did you second it? Second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. So do you want to read what the proposed is, Amelia?
Yes, so the motion be to recommend to the Houston County Board approve a conditional use permit for a single-family dwelling on less than 40 acres in the Agricultural Protection District with 4 conditions in La Crescent Township. That's 1, that the permittee shall comply with all federal, state, and local laws and regulations. 2, that the county may enter onto the premises at reasonable times and in a reasonable manner to ensure the permit holder is in compliance with the conditions and all other applicable statutes, rules, and ordinances. And 3, the operation of a home occupation from this site requires an interim use permit. And 4, that new parcel must be similar to that identified within this request or approved by zoning staff prior to recording to ensure standards are met, which I guess I didn't look closely at that survey, but it did appear that they met that if you didn't want to include that permit or that condition.
So condition number 3, is there a potential of a home site?
That was one item that was raised as a concern because of the current home occupation, I guess, that they have. And so I just wanted to put them or make them aware that that would require a separate permit if that was something you wanted to
Actually, I
do.
retired January 1st, so I'm not doing it anymore.
Okay.
All right.
Any more discussion, or someone want to make a motion, or deny a motion, or whatever?
Make that motion to recommend the findings with.
As it's written down here.
As written,
Yeah.
yes, correct.
Proposed motion recommend granting conditional use permit for a single-family dwelling on under 40 acres with the 4 conditions. Is that right?
Correct. I'll make that motion.
There's a motion made. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion on it before we vote? Roll call vote.
Larry?
Yes.
John? Franklin?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Chase?
Aye.
And Rich?
Aye.
Good luck.
So these guys, like we stated, are a recommending body. It goes to the Board of Commissioners for final approval, and it looks like that date will be March 17th. So we can talk about that.
Copy of the survey.
Sure. I'll keep that. Thank you.
Will they let us know about when the commission?
He's got it.
Oh, okay.
I told him he could go.
I was gonna actually move the mic closer to you, but you got out of that.
Oh, boy,
Is that your jacket?
I got the wrong mic here then. This is supposed to be, this was supposed to be.
Yep, you're good.
Thank you.
I guess this one was supposed to be mine.
I'll let you know after the March 17th meeting.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, everybody, for taking the time to listen to
Welcome.
us.
Okay, what do we got next? Okay, whenever you're ready, Amelia.
Okay. Please take notice that an application has been made by the Barta Family Trust at 6000083 206th Street, Eagle Lake, Minnesota, for a conditional use permit to place a cabin in an agricultural protection district in Houston Township. And that's in the west, part of the west half of the southwest quarter of Section 10, Township 104, Range 6 in Houston County. Said applicant standing and making application is as fee owner of said described lands. A hearing on this application will be held at the Houston County Commissioners Room in Caledonia at 5:40 PM on Thursday, February 26th. All persons having an interest in the matter may attend the hearing or submit comments relative to the granting or denying of said application, and comments should be mailed to the Environmental Services Department or emailed to the zoning office and must be received by Tuesday, February 17th of 2026 to be included for review prior to the hearing. All comments are considered public record, and this was advertised on February 11th of '26.
Evening. Go ahead, and you got the floor.
Good evening. My name is Paul Barta, B-A-R-T-A. This is my mom, Joan, and one of my children, Addison. Were kind enough to come with me tonight. I can kind of read the room, and I think there might be something else going on that people maybe are more interested in this, so I'll try to be brief but thorough. My family has owned, oh, I'm sorry.
Take your time, you got it.
Okay, all right. My family's owned this parcel of land in Houston County since the late 90s, and it has been used for recreational hunting purposes for the most part. My dad and I spent a lot of time down there. He passed away in 2019. And so it's been my family, my sister, myself, my children that have been hunting the land since then. For about the last 20 years or so, we've had a camper that we've moved to the property seasonally. It's made it a little challenging to do food plots, trail maintenance, and all the stuff that you kind of need to do on a hunting parcel to make it usable and fun to use. Moving that camper in and out, it's been more and more challenging. I'll be honest, I turned 50 this last year, and it doesn't get any easier with the passing years. So looking on into the future, my hope is that that would be considered that we'd be allowed to have a conditional use permit for a small cabin, so we wouldn't have to worry about maintaining a camper, moving it on and off, all the troubles that come with a camper for water intrusion and things like that. Amelia's been very good to work with. We want to do things the right way. I did reach out to the property owners that actually live in the area where the proposed cabin is at. I've come to know most of them over the last several years. Since we've owned the property. Specifically, the folks that live just around the bluff, the closest house, I talked to them, and Jonathan and Verity. I talked to them because I wanted to make sure people knew about this and didn't have opposition to it, because frankly, if there was people that live there, it's their home, and they oppose it, that's not something that I want to push forward. So everybody I talked to is very good about it. Matter of fact, Jonathan, it was right around Christmas time, and he said, "Hey, if it's going to make your life easier, I support it." So everybody's been very good. One of my friends, Randy Steinfeld, that lives in the valley, was kind enough to come tonight for at least moral support. So Randy's in the back too, and has agreed to kind of help me with the process if needed. So just if you're willing, I did do my homework on things, and just to give you a little example. Became fairly familiar with the ordinances for the county, and I did kind of just make a cheat note for myself on some of the things that need to be complied with, because it is pretty specific on the square footage, some of the setbacks, the necessary parking, ability and things like that. So that's my only copy. I'd like it back if I can, but just to show you that I've kind of done some research, and again, Amelia's been very good to work with on this too. That's kind of the project overview. A very small cabin, seasonal or very occasional use for hunting and maintenance of the land. And happy to answer any questions that you all might have.
So where you put this cabin, then can you drive to it with your vehicle, or do you have to? It's kind of in a wet area, isn't it?
It's actually not. It's an area that's got some tall grass in it, is adjacent to that, but it's never been terribly wet, to be honest with you.
Oh, so you could drive where you get, if you get this cabin built, you could drive your vehicle right up to the cabin then?
It's actually fairly close to the township road, and if you look at the diagram on there, there should be a spot that's marked parking. And it's a very short walk from the parking off the road.
Yeah, so you're gonna park by the township road and then you're gonna walk to your cabin.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. Yep, and that area that is denoted or labeled as parking is where we traditionally put the camper.
So is that cabin, I'm familiar with this area, I'm just to be on the township, but it's really wet there along the town road. So is this cabin up off that?
Yeah, so if you look at kind of the map or the overlay there,
Yep.
you can see the stream that's there.
Yep.
And that stream area is really the main wet place, if you will. There's a spot that's elevated, Amelia was out there, it's not real big, probably ideal for a small cabin, to be honest, because that's up at the level that the path is to go up into the woods and stuff. So it's not down in that
Oh, I know.
grass area.
You got it up on the high
Yep,
spot there.
yep.
Yep.
And I know one of the things that Amelia and I had talked about was the setback from the toe of the bluff. If it does meet the criteria of a bluff, and I'm sure a lot of people in this room hunt, I need that setback anyway because, between the cabin, if it's allowed, and the toe of that bluff is where I get, ATV through, a small tractor for food plots and things like that. So, that setback is actually, I think, pretty generous if you look at it with respect to needing to get some small equipment or four-wheelers through there.
In terms of the wetland, I'll just add too, when I first looked at this, that was my primary concern. And so Dave and Brian had both been out there to take a look at that, and they said, yes, it sits up just a little bit higher than the wet area. So they were fine with it.
More questions?
Who is the neighbor at
Uh,
1497?
That's gonna be Jonathan Variety, Schuer, I believe their last name is pronounced. They moved there just a couple of years ago from out west. Yeah, it's changed hands, I think, 3 times since we've had the property. Good people.
Any public comment? From anybody?
Got one?
Yes, would you step down, please, and then you can come back up. Pardon?
You'll have to come up
From the podium.
so we can hear you and put you on video.
My name is Steve Hartwick, Bunny Creek Township. I just want a clarification. Does the township allow overnight parking? Is that going to be what's occurring here, overnight parking on Township Road?
It's not on a township road.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know.
Okay, thank you. Good question.
By the way, she's our youngest bow hunter.
Oh,
On the cabin that you're proposing, are you gonna move that in, or are you gonna build it on site?
So I've got a brother-in-law that's a contractor that's assured me that, he and I could make some pretty quick work of putting up a small cabin. When I've talked to the little one here, she says, Dad, if we have one moved in, it'll be done. I don't know. I'm kind of between, I've been kind of looking at prices. I kind of lean towards moving one in, but we're about 50-50 at this point.
I was gonna ask who's gonna win that one. I was just.
No. I kind of melt.
why do we have zoning ordinances, Amelia, that restricts? They can't have electricity, and they can't have this, and they can't have that. Yet you can get a permit to build a cold storage building, and the first thing they do is they put electricity in it, then they build the kitchen, and then the bedroom, and then in the valley, they drive a sand point, and they put in the bathroom, and then they put in a holding tank for the toilets. How come do we have to change our regulations on a cabin, or are we, or am I missing something here?
No, I was gonna comment that the cabin rules are original, I think, to the ordinance. So And that situation is a more current issue. So cabins is one thing I would like to look at in the future.
Well, we could ask Paul, is that your intention to do all that?
To add electricity, plumbing, no.
Okay.
No, it's, no, that's not the intention. We were down there for, long weekends, primarily in the fall, like I said. Maybe some mushroom hunting and trail maintenance in the spring, but no, certainly not to that extent. It wouldn't be money well spent if it could be done in the first place, frankly.
Yeah.
And to in looking at this site, it's a very difficult site to locate any structure on because of the hill restricting it on one side and the wetland on the other. So really, I don't know that he would be able to move in a dwelling and especially get a septic system in there. So cabin is a great use of this property.
Any more questions? Was there any other public comments other than the one? I didn't want to miss anybody. Okay, then we'll go to the findings. And there we've got we got 8, 9, 12, 13, and 14. Someone wants to make a motion to,
I'll make a motion to strike those.
is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
So number one, that the proposed use conforms to the county land use plan. Analysis states that the comprehensive plan encourages development to conform to the natural limitations presented by topography. There's a very limited building envelope on this parcel, making a cabin likely the only option available to the applicant.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Go ahead.
Two, that the applicant demonstrates a need for the proposed use. Analysis states that the applicant indicates the cabin is intended for recreational use to replace a seasonal camper and will allow them to enjoy and better maintain the property.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Go ahead.
Three, that the proposed use will not degrade the water quality of the county. Analysis states that a cabin cannot have a permanent foundation, so with minimal ground disturbance, the construction should not degrade water quality, and the addition of a cabin to the land should not change the overall use of the land in a negative manner. A portable toilet will be used to temporarily hold septic for disposal off-site.
All in favor of 3, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 4.
Four, that the proposed use will not adversely increase the quantity of water runoff. Analysis states that the cabin footprint is minimal and is not anticipated to have an effect or minimal effect on quantity of water runoff.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Go ahead.
Five, that soil conditions are adequate to accommodate the proposed use. The analysis states that the soil survey indicates that soils at both sites can accommodate buildings, but they should conform to the natural slope of the land.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 6.
Six, that potential pollution hazards have been addressed and that standards have been met. Analysis states that there are no anticipated pollution hazards.
All in favor of 6, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Go ahead.
Seven, that adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, and other necessary facilities have been or are being provided. Analysis states that no utilities are proposed or allowed with cabins, and access is from the township road from which there is an existing access point that the township approves of.
All in favor of 7, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Go ahead.
8 and 9 are not applicable, so 10, that the conditional use will not be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity for purposes already permitted. Analysis states that Traft Drive is a dead-end road, and there are 3 dwellings in close proximity, but the seasonal nature of this proposal should not impact the use and enjoyment of those properties, and the closest dwelling is around the hill enough that this structure will not be visible.
All in favor of 10, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Go ahead.
11, that the establishment of the conditional use will not impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of surrounding vacant property for predominant uses in the area. Analysis states that there is already a dwelling in this quarter, and the proposed use is compatible with the nature of the neighboring properties.
All in favor of 11, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Go ahead.
12, 12, 13, and 14 are not applicable, so 15, that site-specific conditions and such other conditions are established as required for the protection of the public's health, safety, morals, and general welfare. Analysis states that public health, safety, morals, and general welfare are not anticipated to be impacted with a simple cabin.
All in favor of 15, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, motion to accept the findings.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is carried. You want to read the proposed motion, Amelia?
Yes, so a motion to recommend the Houston County Board approve a conditional use permit for a cabin in the Agricultural Protection District with 2 conditions in Houston Township. 1, that the permittee shall comply with all federal, state, and local laws and regulations, and 2, that the county may enter onto the premises at reasonable times and in a reasonable manner to ensure the permit holder is in compliance with the conditions and all other applicable statutes, rules, and ordinances.
Is there a motion to this effect? Or discussion, whatever?
Make a motion to present this before the commissioners.
Yeah, make a motion to accept the
Accept this,
recommended
yes.
approval of conditional use permit with these 2 conditions. Motion on the floor, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Any more discussion before we vote? Roll call vote, please.
Franklin?
Aye.
Eric?
Aye.
Chase?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
And Larry?
Aye.
Okay, good luck.
Thank you.
Order your cabin on Amazon.
Yeah.
So, yeah, yours will go to the board on March 17th as well. And we can touch base on that. Oh, yours will go to the board on March 17th as well. We can touch base on that. You don't have to be present for it. Yeah.
I'll give you a copy.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Mud and everything.
So moving on, I guess as we mentioned at the beginning, the hearing 1009, the applicants had requested to table that until the March hearing. And then the final item that we have on the agenda was just, citizen had asked to present a petition. This was not advertised as a public hearing or anything. So there's no like public comment and all that associated like we would normally do.
So, call the question, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Is this part of our business as planning commission here?
This,
This isn't,
you're not making a decision on anything.
okay,
So is this related to the one that they canceled?
It's not
Yes,
direct,
I'll let them.
Joyce Ruffler, Yucatan Township.
Cindy Cresswell Hatley, Yucatan Township.
So,
I'm just questioning why we're
Yeah,
accepting a petition when that should go before the county board versus the planning commission. We're just a recommended body here.
yeah.
And if this is,
we did-
if this to influence a future consideration, I think it's not proper.
Okay, and I do hear what you're saying. This is all new to me personally and just trying to like figure out how to navigate who hears what first.
I think our county coordinator has talked to you and said that you could bring this
Well,
petition to the
that was the
county
next,
board.
yeah, I reached out to him, yeah.
Yeah, I think that'd be the proper venue for that, for this.
Okay. And so if we bring it before the Board of Commissioners?
Right, yep.
And then, does it come back here, or would you guys send it back to the Planning Commission since it's,
The planning commission, it'll be shared from the county board to everyone, so.
okay. But who would hold, our ultimate request is asking for a public meeting to be held regarding,
But you're not scheduled to have.
no, but
any
I mean, is that
public comment
something that the
here.
Board of Commissioners then would
That
be?
you could come to a public
Yeah.
comment period at a Board of Commissioners meeting, yes.
And then ask for you guys to consider that and maybe put it on your discussion items for your work group session and maybe grant a public meeting.
That part would have to be discussed as
Yeah.
a full board.
But, no, I understand that, but I just want to make sure that that
Yep.
is okay. I guess ultimately we've just started here because that's where those changes first took place at the Planning Commission. With that application to remove the mining density.
I get all that, yep.
Yeah, and so like, you know.
But you're
just-
presenting the petition from what I understand.
Yeah, asking to revisit those.
And that you could bring to the county board.
Okay.
Yep. Am I wrong, Chairman?
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah, because I was planning on still coming March 3rd, or, so just, okay. So you guys wouldn't want the petition now?
I would, in my opinion, I think it should go to the county board.
Okay.
Those are the elected officials who make the final decision. This is a recommending body.
Yeah, I just felt like if maybe this recommending body was in support of it, then,
We're supposed to be impartial and
okay.
hear things as they come to us, not ahead of time, is what I'm getting at. So I'm just thinking it's not proper,
Okay,
okay?
yeah, well.
I'm not saying
I
you
also
cannot-
feel like it wasn't really proper to,
No,
you know.
I'm not saying you can't bring it to the county board. That'd be the proper place to do that. And you are
Okay.
welcome to do that. I think our coordinator, Brent, over there has stated that to you as well.
Well, yeah, I reached out to him and yeah.
Yep.
So,
So the process, do we try to get on the agenda? Because otherwise, it's how many of us are gonna have?
Well, you were on the agenda and now it's off the agenda.
no, that's not
That's
us. Well, they're linked, yes, but, or like, I mean, the same topic a little bit, but it's not together.
It's, I'm just saying it should go to the county board. You're welcome to bring it to the county board.
They have a public comment, correct me
Yep.
if I'm wrong. They have a public comment before they commissioners start their board meeting.
And so there could
And
be as
then-
many public comments.
Yeah,
And then you can
Yep,
correct
you'll
me
have,
again if I'm
you'll all
wrong.
have a turn to do 3-minute comments.
yes, it's not limited,
Yep.
Okay.
other than each person is limited in time, but.
Yes,
So is it the county board that made the decision to remove the restriction? And will they also be the ones to reinstate it if that were to happen?
that is correct.
This is the recommending body, that we're not the final decision makers here, so this is just a recommended bit.
Able to rescind the original setback?
I'm not gonna get into all that because this is not,
Because you're telling me the one.
this is a recommending body that recommends
This,
to the county board whether in favor or against. And the county board has the final say,
Right.
right?
But.
they were responding to an application. There was an application submitted to our office,
First of
and then
its
it goes
kind.
to the planning commission for that initial review. As they said, they are the recommending body, but it ultimately is approved by the Board of Commissioners.
So, okay, so the commissioners have the final say, but you guys have the starting say,
Correct.
did in when this thing started.
So, yeah, these prior two hearings, they're not actually complete. They have to go to the Board of Commissioners for final approval, and so they're not actually approved yet.
Final approval, but the starting approval.
Excuse me, but this is the recommending board. This doesn't make any logical sense. If you recommend
Right.
things to the county commissioners, why then can't we make a presentation so that you'll be able to recommend?
And you're welcome, you're welcome to do that at the county board.
Yes, I understand that,
yeah.
but you are the.
This is a recommending body.
That's right.
See,
They need an application to act on in order to make a recommendation, and that application, or there was an application submitted that was tabled that is similar, but this isn't a formal application.
Informal, so informal, she can't present to you anyway? It has to be a formal one?
They can't make a decision on anything
No,
tonight.
we're not talking about decision recommendation to the board. So if they make an informal presentation to you, you can't hear it unless it's a formal presentation?
Great question.
Right?
And that is up to them, and it's some.
One at a time.
What?
Go ahead, go ahead.
I just thought that was a great question.
Well, let's let one person at a time, and we had a public hearing 2 times. We had a public hearing.
Wait a minute now. I think we're getting into.
We're already kind of a little bit too deep because there is no public comment, there is no discussion as part of these
That's what I'm getting
hearings,
at. We're
so.
getting into the weeds here of of
That's-
past things. So
And there was no
what I'm
public
trying to
comment
avoid
either.
here is tainting any process in the future that comes to this planning commission board.
I hear what you're saying.
And so I think it's the proper thing to do is for you guys to come to the county board meeting and present your petition and have your public comments to the county board. I think this planning commission board here should adjourn their business. And I make a motion to adjourn, and then we can close this meeting out so we don't have anything said that's gonna be tainting anything in the future.
Okay, just the reason why I brought it here is because that original application itself was tainted.
Yes.
See, now you're making comments
But
that
I
we
know,
don't, we cannot comment.
Okay, I know, but like
don't have
that
to
is why, you know.
You're
and
free to come to the county board
Okay.
and make those statements, okay?
And yeah. And besides like just highlighting like, you know, the red flags or the misstatements, it's more just even using your guys' words on what you value and what you.
I'm just trying to,
Yeah.
I would like, as a planning commission member, and also as a county board member, trying to preserve the way it would look as we're trying to taint something that's coming before us in the future. And I don't want that to happen. If you were here with your business that was gonna be done,
That wasn't
that'd be
my
different,
business,
that'd be
yeah.
different. But that's been canceled for whatever reason. So I think to
Postponed.
preserve fairness, we should adjourn this meeting. You could welcome to come to the county board meeting and have your piece there.
Is that your opinion too, Amelia?
That it should go to the board?
I mean,
Yeah.
that, how the procedure is supposed to go?
Yes, this should go to the board at public comment. These guys have to review an actual application.
We got a motion. I don't want to shut you off, but we're not going to get anything done.
Request. Can I get my name reinstated on any emails that go out in regards to any of these matters? Since
I
it's been-
don't think there is.
See, now we're getting into things we shouldn't be talking about.
I appreciate,
I just want to be notified of meetings.
I had made a motion to adjourn.
Is there a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is adjourned.